The Department of Health and Human Services this week attempted to clarify a few things that Biden has not been very clear on. But Javier Becerra did say that doctors, at least healthcare providers, are not permitted to disclose patient health information unless faced with a court order. The HHS said Wednesday, an attempt to provide clarity following the overturning of Roe v. Wade, similar to what Lori was saying earlier about, look, there is no way that your mail can be opened. If you order Plan C pills, that is you need a court order to open an individual's mail, and they can't do that to you. But what he also said, and this is more chilling, and I want to get your response on it, is that patients that the department also warned patients that data collected by third-party apps such as period trackers is not protected health information under federal rules and could be shared with other entities.
Whoa.
And I know, Lori, you have intimate knowledge of a case where someone's data was used against them because they searched for Plan C.
Whoa.
They searched for abortion pills. So can you talk about what he means by that and what we need to be aware of?
Yeah, I think one of the things people need to understand is that when it comes to your digital security, sometimes it's not even as complicated as people getting, or law enforcement getting, your data from the companies. It can be something as easy as you didn't clear your history, and then the police get your phone, right? And so like they can literally get a warrant for your phone, open your phone, and then all of your stuff is in there. Because let's be honest, it's a mobile computer and our lives are on our phone, right? And so if we're text messaging and we're not using an encrypted app that has disappearing messages, like say Signal. Because I'm gonna be honest, don't message me if you're not on Signal. I don't talk about seriously, my whole entire MRFF, everybody on MRFF message me on Signal. I don't care if we're talking about getting hot dogs for a kit bag. You message me on Signal. And there's press that have been surprised. Like overseas press were like, we only get people from war zones that message us from Signal. I was like, what do you think abortion rights work is in the U.S.? You think we out here like doing pancake? Like what do you think? I mean, I don't know what y'all think we out here doing, but that ain't it. So like, I mean, using stuff like Signal, using search engines that are not known to sell your data, like a DuckDuckGo.
Yes.
Making sure that you're clearing your data, using a VPN. I'm sorry, everyone should be using a VPN at this point, right? Like everybody. And I understand it slows what you can do, and sometimes you can't do the stuff you want to do. But honestly, when you're doing any kind of searches or you're doing any kind of stuff like that, you should be using a VPN. We have a little digital from Digital Defense Fund. We have a little graphic that's on our social media about how to keep yourself safe when you're searching for reproductive stuff. So like there's just some very easy things that you can do. But number one is don't give the police your phone. Real talk. I mean, and this is not me shitting on anyone, but like honestly, don't give the police your phone until they prove they have a warrant.
Yeah. And
even if they have a warrant, refuse to give them your password unless they force you to give it to them. The case I'm talking about, they coerced her into giving them her password by telling her that they were going to hold her until she gave it to them.
Jesus.
Which they can't do. Like, okay.
Of course, now that the Miranda rights have been obliterated and law enforcement, thanks to the SCOTUS, no longer required to tell you about your Miranda rights.
Exactly.
We have to know this ourselves. You have the right to shut the fuck up and not hand over anything.
Yep.
My advice to everyone when police become involved is the same I give to my children is ask if you're free to go and go. If you're free to go. And if you are not free to leave, ask for an attorney and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Those are the two. Ask for an attorney, shut the fuck up. When your attorney gets there, have them contact the people you need to have contacted. And again, shut the fuck up. Like that's like literally there are people walking free now who have committed murders because they shut their mouth. Like, I'm just being honest. Like,
We just talked about OJ earlier. No.
I seriously, that's just real talk. Like, there are people who have committed real serious crimes, and the reason they're walking free is because they shut their mouths. And there are a lot of people sitting in jail or almost sat in jail because they talked. And that's a lot of times when you're talking about people who wind up being criminalized for using pills or allegedly using pills, it's because they said something that made people suspicious. Now, by the way, you being Black and brown, you're already going to be suspicious because we get policed no matter where we go, healthcare, whatever. But you don't have to disclose that you've used pills. They cannot test for it. If they told you they tested for it and they found it, they're lying, right? You do not have to tell them anything about why you're miscarrying. Who the fuck knows? Miscarriages are a mystery. God did it. Blame Allah. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? It's a mystery. The universe does what it does. You don't have anything you don't owe, the people any kind of explanations about why you're miscarrying. Just go and say, I think I'm having a miscarriage and I need assistance. That's all you have to say.
But and it's crazy because I did reporting in El Salvador about this, and they're straight up locking women up for like 30 years because for miscarriages, which I know could be very soon our dark future. But I wanted to ask you, I think I saw an interview with you in another place where you sort of singing the praises of the fact that yes, while it feels like we're back in the pre-Roe days, we still have Plan C. We have misoprostol and mifepristone. I'm pronouncing both of those wrong. I'm sure.
Mifepristone and misoprostol.
Yeah. Mifepristone. Yeah. And so we
years.
We'll just have mif and mice. And we have that combination. We have that access. And this obviously is a medical abortion that is, useful in the first. How many weeks can that be administered?
It's 12. People say 9 because in the US we only use it to 9 weeks because of the FDA. But honestly, globally they use it to 12 weeks. And if we're really being honest, it can be used past 12 weeks. Okay. But you need to be near a hospital because you're going to probably need assist. Like you're going to start the miscarriage and you need to go to the hospital. Right. But if we're being really honest, it's used globally past 12 weeks, and people are just monitored at a hospital. Sure. So it's not like people could not use it. They just need to be more cautious.
Does it give you a little bit of
a high?
Not high, no, but a hope that, at least we're not in, even though they want to take us back to the dark ages, we're not quite there because of that kind of medical abortion.
Absolutely. And the affordability of it. If you're talking about, a pill abortion in a clinic is going to be at least $500, $600. Those that are listed on Plan C are around $250, $300. If you're talking about 8-axis, you're talking about like $150. So like that's a very big price difference. There's a big difference in accessibility. 8-axis has a sliding fee scale, right? So you're just talking about a huge difference. And then if you're talking about community providers, which there are networks around the country, there are people out here giving away abortions. So, and also just like charging people whatever they can. There are people out here that are, herbalists who are doing abortion care early in pregnancy because herbal abortion really does have to be done very early. But if that's your thing, if you're one of those people who like absolutely isn't into pills or whatever, and that's what you want to try first, herbal abortion is very different than it used to be. Obviously we know a lot more about herbs and how they work and stuff than we ever did. But yeah, I think the pills, the accessibility of them is just different. And like what we know about misoprostol, obviously is thanks to the women of Latin America. Thank you. Specifically Brazil. But the thing is misoprostol is everywhere. Like misoprostol is literally everywhere. It is used for ulcers. It's used for arthritis. So like it's in medicine cabinets all over the place. And it's also fairly easy to access in Mexico. And so people will go across the border, grab some, come home. Yeah. So like there's different ways that people access pills. But the fact that they're so accessible, we've already seen in Texas a short-term study where the rate of abortion hasn't really dipped since the 6-week ban. What's happened is that people shifted how they got abortions. A huge amount have started using pills. Some have gone out of state, and who lost access was, the people on the margins, and those are the people I'm most concerned about.
Yeah. Can I ask you last question? We got to move on to our final segment, but given that places like Yellowhammer Fund are suspending their work, and that you see Planned Parenthood stopping to, I mean, I know it's different, but Planned Parenthood stopping giving administering abortions in certain states, Texas, like small clinics. I'm blanking on all the names, but they're stopping. Where can we donate, at least like money? Like, who's accepting our money right now? Like, you know?
Yeah, I definitely say don't give up on abortion funds because we're not going anywhere. And definitely don't give up on independent abortion clinics. A lot of them aren't closing. What they're doing is they're refocusing their work.
Okay.
So a lot of independent abortion clinics like West Alabama Women's Center, which was purchased by Yellowhammer Fund, is going to be doing a full scale reproductive care. They're just, refocusing the clinic. And so they got to kind of wait until like everything is perfect for them to relaunch with the new care schedule, including trans inclusive healthcare, which is very much needed in Alabama.
Yes.
Other clinics are leaving and relocating, like Jackson Women's Healthcare, even though they're fighting to stay open, but they're opening a second location in New Mexico, right?
Oh, wow.
So I mean, it just really depends on what clinic does what, but a lot of clinics are fighting to stay in their communities, to be providers of full spectrum reproductive care, because the pendulum will swing back. That's what we know. Like, that's what we know politically. Like, there's a cost to all of this, and the pendulum will swing back. And those clinics are going to need to be there to hold that space, because reopening a clinic from scratch is hard.
Yeah.
Right. And abortion funds aren't going anywhere, because what we do, first of all, is more than abortion for a lot of us. I mean, not all of us, but Yellowhammer and Mississippi Reproductive Freedom Fund are full spectrum reproductive justice organizations. We do work around family justice. We give away diapers. We give away, baby supplies. We help people who parent. And in a state that's going to force people to give birth, those are kind of like major things to have available. We also give away Plan B. Like we give away condoms. We do sex education. We do all of this other work that's very vital. And we're still going to be doing work around abortion access, regardless of how that ends up looking. I know for Mississippi Reproductive Freedom Fund, we're going to still be funding abortions until they make us stop. And then we'll see what happens.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.